provider. Some call him the Rose of Sharon, the lily of the valley, that bright and morning star. But others call him Wonderful, Mighty, Counselor, the Prince of Peace. But I know him as my Savior, as my Redeemer, as my Lord Jesus the Christ. And if y'all don't mind putting your hands together and giving God some glory up in the house, I know y'all might be close to a golf course, but I know somebody up in here let the devil know that he's still here, baby. And we know that give God some glory all over our people, sing for us here, that God has been good, and he's to all generations. To the tribal chieftain of this branch of Zion, and great house of work and worship, and the personhood of my friend and my brother, the Reverend Lawrence Mosley, I honor you, man of God. Come on, y'all, I'm talking about y'all, Pastor. Amen. I honor you, and I thank God for God allowing our journeys to collide, and I just look forward to the great things God is going to continue to do with you out here in Long Island. Y'all Strong Island? Amen. Amen. Y'all know I ain't from here, so y'all ain't got to be trying to be all rough, doggone. I'm from down south. Amen. So I don't know if it's strong or long, but I'm just glad to be out here. Amen. To the clergy that are here, and to the diaconate ministry and all of the leaders that are here, just in case I miss your title, to you, doggone it, because you think you're important, I'm honoring you as well. Amen. Y'all, I like enjoying myself in church. I've been black all my life. I ain't been saved all my life, but I've been black all my life, and I've been in church all my life. Amen. And I promised the Lord that if I was going to be in church, I was going to enjoy worship every time. Every time. The other reason why I try to enjoy church is because I ain't got but 22 teeth left. It's okay, y'all ain't got to judge me. I see some of y'all ain't got that many either. I got 22 teeth left. I'm going to show them off as many as I got. And when I get the ones that come in a cup, I'm going to show all of them off when I get to church too. Thank you, Jesus. Amen. I'm grateful to be here on the Young People's Day. Y'all put your hands together and give God glory for our young people on today. Come on, y'all, they up in the place, standing before us, saying what they gotta say, praying. Come on, y'all, encourage the young people. Encourage them. Man, Pastor was saying he tried to close the back door, seal the door, doggone it, say let them in it. But do what you got to do to make sure that they get Jesus on a no matter what basis. There's a word from the Lord on this morning. I'm hungry, and if y'all don't know me that well, it don't take me long to preach. So if you felt like shouting, go on and stand up and get in your position. Amen. Because you know some of y'all, it take y'all a long time to get riled up. It don't take me that long if I think of the goodness of Jesus, baby. And just one thing that he did for me, I might do a cartwheel. But because of my body and stuff that happened to me in the past, I can't do cartwheels right now. But I be thinking about them. And I be wanting to do them for Jesus. Y'all, it's okay to smile in church. Amen. We're going to the book of Daniel. The book of Daniel. I'm going to be talking to the young people today, but I hope y'all can ear hustle just a little bit. Those of y'all that are a little older. Amen. I'm glad to be here on the day because I got an AARP card and I'm URU7. Thank you, Jesus. AARP worse than the doggone tax man. I moved and they found me. They was like, hey, here go your card, chick. You can't move far enough for us to find you. And they located me, and I'm starting to get my senior citizens benefits on Tuesday at ShopRite. Thank you, Lord. What day is it up here? Y'all don't act like y'all don't know what day it is. Yes, it's the 24th, and we're glad to be in church. Daniel chapter 3, are y'all there yet? Amen. We're going to be in verse 28. Daniel chapter 3, verse 28. The Bible says this in the A portion of verse 28. Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. You may have a seat. Father, we thank you so much for how you do what you do, God. I thank you that you are absolutely wonderful. God, I'm asking that you would think with my mind and speak with my mouth. God, use me for your glory. God, I'm asking that you would speak something in this house on today, God, that would do what it do, God, that turn our lives around, encourage us, God, and empower us to keep on going on. It's in Jesus' name that I pray, and the people of God said amen, amen, and amen. I'm going to rehearse it. You're hearing the verse once again, verse 28, the 8th portion. It says, Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. For the time that is ours on today, I want to talk from the topic, Testimonies from a Teenager. Testimonies from a teenager. Sometimes you think sometimes you got to be real old to get a testimony from God. I told y'all I've been in church all my life. I just ain't been saved all my life. But when I used to be at the Paradise Missionary Baptist Church of Dallas, Texas, we would go to worship on Sundays and on Wednesdays, and it was always inevitable that somebody that I declared was old, they ain't seem so old now, but they look old to me then, they would always stand up during testimony service. Y'all remember testimony service when folk used to come to church early so they could tell about what God had done for them. They wanted to share the goodness of what the Lord had done either in their family or for them. And testimony service would go on, and they would rise up and say that I want to thank and praise God for one more time to be in his service. I want to thank and praise God for that my bed wasn't my cooling bed, and that the sheets weren't my winding sheet. That's what they used to say down south, Pastor. They would say that they wanted to thank God that he gave them an early morning rising. They wanted to thank God that he had clothed them in their right mind. They was always in there to testify. But one thing that I found out, that there were very few young people that would ever rise and stand and say that God had done something in their lives. But I needed to find something to speak to the young people about on today. And God said, Rita, I got something for you to give my young people. They still got a testimony, and they need to go tell it. And so on today, I'm getting ready to tell somebody else's testimony. I'm going to tell the testimony of 3 teenagers. See, I found out, Pastor, though, that you can't testify if you don't know nothing. Okay, I'm going to help y'all up in here. See, when I was back in Phoenix, Arizona, I used to run the jail court. I wasn't in jail. I was running the jail. Talk back to me if you can. I used to run the jail, and I found out that you were not able or eligible to testify in a court of law unless 2 things were able to be said by you. That number 1, you had seen something, or that you have heard something that happened right in front of you. It was legitimately saying that your testimony was not credible unless you had an eyewitness account to something that happened around you. And I want to tell somebody up in here that might be young, don't wait till you get old and decrepit like all of us. Go on and tell somebody while you're young that God has been good to you. You got a testimony, and you ought to tell it, because you done seen some stuff and you done heard some stuff. Okay, let me get back to the text. The Bible says that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were able to testify. But I need to give a little context before I run through this text. See, they were not able to stand and be who they were without something happening for them. What happened for them, Rita? Well, when they were young, somebody introduced them to the Lord. And I need somebody to get behind what Pastor is doing and make sure that the kids don't just come to church to have fun, but they come to church to gain a faith in a God that will be able to keep them. I need somebody who will be dedicated to teaching while they were young. What messed me up was they were taught about God, and then they were taken away from the people that taught them about God. Can I help somebody up in here? You ain't always going to be around your young people, and when they get out from under you, what are you going to leave them with? Okay, I see y'all can't talk because see, when you give them something, they got something, and you might not have no money, honey, but introduce them to the master. You might not have a whole lot to lead them, but make sure they know the Lord. I see y'all scary parents. So I had two parents, both of them was child abusers. One of them, she passed away already, but I got one child abuser I might still be able to get put in jail, and that's my daddy. My daddy, he was a pastor, and he did not care what was going on with us. If Sunday came, you was going to church. You're not going to say nothing. If the door swung open, you were going to church. And if you didn't have a diagnosis that had you in ICU, you were going to be sitting back with the ushers holding you in their lap, because you were going to be in the house of God. Y'all not going to say nothing. We got to stop giving young people choices and choose you this day who they going to serve. The Bible says that their parents did not allow them a choice, but they made a choice for them. I remember being young, saying to myself, I promised myself and two little white girls that when I grew up, y'all get that when y'all that I was never go to church again. I promised myself that when I got grown, I was going to leave the house of the Lord. I left my house this morning at 6 o'clock this morning on my way to the Lord house, because I'm telling you, when you put something in somebody, they always are going to go back to what's in them. And I done did everything I was big and bad enough to do. Y'all not going to talk to me. But they gave me something, so that when I needed something, I had something. The Bible says that their parents gave them something, so when they needed something, they had something. Can I keep telling y'all about the context of the text, and then I'm going to get to what I'm trying to preach in a minute. The Bible says that they were taken from their parents, but they still had a relationship with God. And it teaches us that even a change of location will not mess with your consecration. Y'all not going to say nothing. If you change their location, they will still love the Lord if you teach them right. They got took from their parents, and in spite of a change of location, they still love the Lord. The other thing that messed me up was that their name didn't start out being Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They had to go through being called something different. And I know y'all trying to act like y'all black and ain't nobody ever called you nothing different. But down south they called us out of our name for a long time. I'm a child of the 60s, baby. And they were called from all kind of stuff. They called us stuff that folk black now get paid money doing records calling each other niggas and out of their name. But back in the day, baby, that'll get you a beat down. I know y'all don't know nothing about it up here, but back in the day, baby, it'll get you a trip to the hospital and $7,000 worth of dental work. But in spite of being called something different, it didn't change who they knew they were. Y'all not gonna say nothing. See, sometimes we gotta get past what folk call us and start focusing on what we answer to. See, you might call me a whole lot of things, but what I answer to is who I think I am. And the Bible says they called them out of their name, but that was not who they answered to. education. And then they were given a new vocation. See, if you go back and find out how they got taken, the Bible says that Nebuchadnezzar only took the best and the brightest. Yeah. He knew that if I could take the best of who they are, I could cripple their community. I wish I had somebody that was thinking Black history today. You see, the devil thought that if I could take the best of who they are away from them, I'll cripple their community. Well, I'm here to tell somebody their community kept on going on because even though they got separated, it did not change who they were worshiping. So even though their hands did some things, Nebuchadnezzar could never get their heart. Y'all, I'm trying to help somebody. Y'all, we gotta make sure that we keep our babies' hearts. Don't make them hard too early. I'm talking good and y'all don't even know it. Stop making our children hard so early and give them an opportunity to love the Lord with all of their heart and leaning not to their own understanding, but in all of their ways. If they acknowledge God, He'll direct them. The Bible says that they experienced a change of location, a change of identification, and a change of vocation, but it did not mess with their consecration. See, what it was literally saying was they was always set aside to be a Christian, and no matter what changed in their lives, they remained a Christian all of their lives. And I'm here to tell somebody on today that a testimony from a teenager will remind you to don't let nothing change your consecration. Stay separated for the Lord. The Bible says that they experienced all of these changes in their lives, but they stayed steadfast to the Lord. Can I give y'all my little pieces and then I'm going to go on and take my seat and then I'm going to go get me something to eat? The Bible says that this testimony from these teenagers is for part. It reminds us that they remain persuaded. Let's go to the text, verse 16 through 18. It says, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. They were literally saying that I don't care who you try to do, what you try to do to get us to bow down to what you try to get us to bow down to. We're not getting ready to go down. We're not taking a knee for nothing. Y'all not going to say nothing. See, they were strong enough to say that even if everybody else go down doing that, we're not going down doing that. And I need to talk to some adults up in here on today trying to act like the government can regulate your relationship with the Lord, trying to act like you can't talk about Jesus when you on the job. I'm here to let somebody know God gave me everything, and if I talk about the Lord and lose my job, God gonna have to give me another job, because I ain't never gonna stop serving the Lord. I told y'all I used to run the jail court, and I had staff working for me. They were bailiffs and judges and prosecutors. They all worked for me. And I had 2 crosses, Pastor, in my office. I had one cross with Jesus on the cross. And I had one cross, and Jesus wasn't on that cross. And people would say, I thought you said you was a Christian. I am a Christian. But the one cross that had him on the cross reminded me that I got saved, and it cost God something to get me saved. And then I had another cross, baby, to remind me that he got off of that thing, and eventually I'm going to get off of whatever thing I got going on in my life. I had both of the crosses up in my life. One of my staff tried to get cute and went to my administrator and said, you know, I feel uncomfortable going in Miss Story's office because she got 2 crosses in her office and she always playing gospel music. So my boss, he brought me in. He said, Rita, we loving what you're doing in the jail, doing a great job running the crew the way we need you to run the crew, but your staff got a problem. I said, what's the problem? He said, they say when they come to your office, you got 2 big old crosses in your office. I said, I sure do. Yeah. All right. He said, they said you got Christian music on. I said, I sure do. Yeah. He said, yeah, well, when they come to your office, I said, well, what is the problem? He said, Rita, I just told you when they come in your office, you got 2 crosses on the wall and you're playing gospel music. I said, well, what is the problem? He said, girl, listen, I just told you, you got 2 crosses in your office and you playing gospel music. And when they come in your office, I said, we need to start from the beginning of this whole thing. It's my office. My staff ain't got to come in my office. I can come to where my staff is. But if you think Jesus coming off the wall and you think gospel music gonna stop, you crazy and whoever it was that told you about. And when I left there to go serve the Lord. I didn't leave there because they took my job, because I was doing what I needed to do in order to keep the job. Y'all not gonna say nothing. You ain't gonna make me scared about serving my God. But I see y'all like some folk that go to church out in Queens where I go to church. Y'all not as persuaded as these little boys were. Some of y'all are almost persuaded. Y'all almost persuaded. You almost gave God your whole life. You almost fell all the way in. Some of y'all just almost. I go to church all the time, but I ain't down like them crazy people that go to church. I ain't got to shout all the time. I ain't got to be there all the time. You almost persuaded. And some of y'all ain't almost persuaded. Some of y'all have been adversely affected by some of those that say that they are persuaded. Yeah, because of what other folk done said and done, it has affected you. And so you don't have the capacity to be fully persuaded because you've been adversely persuaded by other believers. I know we out in Long Island and y'all love the Lord so different than we do way back over there in Brooklyn and in Queens. But there's some folk that go to church out in Queens and in Brooklyn. You catch them on the wrong day. They got a nasty little attitude. They act like they didn't see you when you were coming in church. They got folk that walk right past you like you can't see me. I weigh 235 pounds. I know I'm darker than the street and dark as the night. You might not be able to see me, but I know good and doggone well you can feel me. Because I am covered, my shadow got some weight to it. But you got some Christian folk who have adversely affected many people, and that's why they ain't in the church today. They don't come to church, and it's not because of their relationship with God. It's because their relationship with other neighbors that go to the church. I understand none of y'all I gotta run all the way back home. But they were persuaded. They weren't almost persuaded. They had not been adversely persuaded. But they were absolutely persuaded in the relationship they had with the Lord. The testimony from these teenagers reminds us, y'all, we gotta be persuaded. Because the enemy ain't playing with us no more. It's stuff that's going on for real. And only those that are persuaded are going to be able to make it in this hour. Okay, let me keep on because I got even more hungry. They were not only persuaded, but I found out in the text they were also preserved. The Bible says that Nebuchadnezzar said that if you don't do what I tell you to do, if you don't bow down, I'm going to put you in a hot place. I'm not only put you in a hot place, I'm going to put you in the worst place anybody has ever been in because you won't do what I tell you to do. Because you won't do what the whole world is doing, I'm going to put you in a place where you have to pay a price. And I'm going to talk to somebody right now that act like you ain't been paying a price. Baby, you're going to pay a price whether you bow down or whether you stand up. You're going to pay a price. You're going to pay a price to the enemy on a no matter what basis, or you're going to pay a price for the Lord that's going to end up being a reward for your life. You're going to pay a price by his presence. The Bible says in verse 25 that they looked and they saw 4 men loose. That the Bible says that they looked and saw 4 men loose. God had to remind me that, Rita, every now and then you're going to feel like it ain't nobody on your side. But other people are going to be looking and they're going to see me right with you. You're going to feel like you got to do that thing all by yourself. And other people are going to see me doing what I got to do on your behalf. Can I tell y'all a story? I was telling Pastor today, I ain't got nothing but brothers. And we used to play football. I need some of y'all to think back to when kids used to play outside. Y'all remember when kids used to play outside? I need some of y'all to talk back to me if you can. See, we didn't have no TV. We didn't have that you could plug into the TV. They used to make you go outside and play with each other. I see they were too young up in here, Pastor. They don't know how when kids used to play outside. But down south, children used to play outside. I was raised in Dallas, Texas, and I ain't got nothing but brothers. And so we used to play football. And the street rules were, if you had the ball, it was your game, and you got a team that you could call. And so I came out one day because I was ready to play football, and this little boy named Frontis, he was outside, and I said, yo, we trying to get a game going on. He was like, you need to go over on the side and sit down somewhere and do what a little girl do. And I'm sitting up here like, dude, don't even play. You know what the street ball rule is. It's my ball, it's my game. You go somewhere and sit down. And then he mushed me in my, y'all know what a mush is. He did like that. Baby! I said, I know you ain't touching me. It's my ball and it's my game. And I started hollering out there and started walking toward Francis. And y'all, all of a sudden, Francis started backing up. I said, it's what? Back up, back up, back up. Started backing up. I said, you give me my ball. And as a matter of fact, you go somewhere and sit down. He gave me my ball back. And I was all thrilled because, you know, I was talking trash to Francis and made him sit down. And I backed up and I ran into my brother. Okay, I see y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Glenn. Glenn at 13 was weighing 250 pounds. Glenn at 13 was weighing 250 and was 6'3". Oh, okay, y'all not gonna say nothing. See, when he was 13, I was 11. I was about 4'9". And I was out there hollering and going after my enemy. But what I didn't know was that my backup had shown up. Because Glenn had me hollering out on the street, and he made his way to where I was to let me know you ain't gonna fight this fight by yourself, baby. You got a big brother that'll fight it for you. And somebody in here needs to know you got a God who is bigger than any enemy you will ever face. And baby, you'll turn around and find out that your backup, it done shown up. And some of y'all need to go to work on Monday and say, baby, my backup, it done shown up. Do what you can, but my backup done shown up. The Bible says that he preserved them by his presence, but he also preserved him by his power. Y'all know the story. The Bible said that they didn't get burned and they didn't even smell like smoke. It said that basically they didn't look like what they had been through. Deacon, what's your name again, baby? Deacon Gladden came in there lying to me this morning. I think I love her. She was like, oh, you look so nice this morning, and we're glad that you're here. And I was telling her something. I was like, she asked me how long I've been doing ministry. I said, over 20 years. She said, you don't even look like you're 20 years old. Just stretch your hand toward her for being like a liar like that. Go on and pray for her. That's right. Just go on and start praying for her. But it made me feel good anyhow. It made me feel good anyhow. Because she was literally reminding me I just don't look like what I've been through. I done had cancer 2 times, but I don't look like what I've been through. I done been divorced, but I don't look like what I've been through. Had 3 babies to die on me, and I don't look like what I've been through. Is there anybody in the place that can say that's Bible says, Bible says that they had to be persuaded. They were preserved by his presence and his power. But my last thing, and I'm getting ready to take my seat, so if y'all gonna shout for real, you're gonna get in the aisle, get your spot. The Bible says, I'm so glad y'all starting to laugh a little bit. That made me happy. The Bible says in verse 30, it says, then King promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. It said, then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. It said, then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. See, some of us, our real issue is that we don't want to go through nothing to get something. Okay, God, say that. See, God has to remind us, if you get through this, I got something on the other side for you. If you stop being mad about where I have you, I got something on the other side for you. If you stop complaining about what you got in front of you, I got something on the other side. I'm trying to help somebody up in here. If you stop acting depressed about what you got in your hand, I got something on the other side for you. And our real issue is that we're always comparing ourselves to other people. We compare what we got and don't got. We compare how tall we are and how short they are. We compare what God gave us to what he gave somebody else. I had somebody that was talking about me, because every now and then, this is my different hairstyle here, so I'll come. I'm going to still be dark skinned, but my hair could be really long the next time I come. Talk back to me if y'all can. Ain't nobody looking for me, but I just got to change what I look like. Amen. And you know what I'm saying. Just figure some ideas are looking like this. We got to change up a little bit. Y'all so cute. So I'm going to this church, and this lady got a flyer. She was like, I don't like this lady right here. Now, I gotta just be honest. She didn't know it was me either, because I had did a photo shoot, and they had put this real bright light, like an X-ray light, on me, so it almost made me look light skinned. Come on, y'all. I almost looked like I was past this complexion. But it was still me. Are y'all still with me? And she was like, I don't really like her. And I'm like, who? She was like, that lady right there. I don't like how she preached. I was like, really? That lady? And one of the things that I had to get to the point to realize in my ministry growth was that even if other people compared me, I couldn't compare me. I wish I had somebody. Young people, you got to get to the place where you learn how to embrace who God created you to be. Stop worrying about somebody saying your cousin's smarter than you. Well, let's switch people. You can have my cousin, and I can go stay up at my auntie's house. What you looking for, lady? My grandmama used to say this: be who you is. Because if you ain't who you is, then you ain't who you is. Okay, that's a high pitch. Let me say it again, because y'all didn't get it. I know y'all real intelligent out here, but my grandmama used to say, be who you is. Because if you ain't who you is, then you ain't who you is. She was literally saying, don't let nobody try to make you believe that who God created you to be ain't good enough. You are more than good enough. You are made by the hand of God. I need our young people to gain some kind of self-confidence. confidence and self-value. And stop trying to be who everybody else wants you to be. And be who God created you to be. The Bible says that you are fearfully and wonderfully made by the hand of God. God don't make no mistake. And you got to get to the place where you love you even if other folk can't love you. But too oftentimes we look at ourselves. Listen to me, young people. We look at ourselves, and because we don't like ourselves, we try to become something different. You better be who you love, because you might not get it from the world the way you desire it. You better learn how to love yourself and value who you are. That baby, y'all done came from some people that made it through some stuff that all of us ought to be getting checks for PTSD. Y'all not, I'm talking real. We done been through slavery, Jim Crow laws, segregation, integration. Y'all ain't gonna say nothing. Driving while black, working while black, buying grocery while black, living while black. Y'all done been through some generations of people that made it. You act like you ain't nobody. The devil is a liar. Amen. The Bible says that they got promoted because they persevered. They got promoted because they were persuaded. They got promoted. What messed up the whole thing was that their testimony was so credible that the king had to change his rules. I'm going to say something and then I'm going to go on and take my seat. Change his rules. One of the things that this millennial and zillennial generation is getting given to them is beforehand, our generations weren't able to stand when other people were kneeling. So we see laws that changed. While I've been alive, they've taken prayer out of schools. While I've been alive, they took the Christian flag out of the schools. While I've been alive, they took reading scripture. Y'all remember that? Y'all try to act like I'm the only one that was reading scripture. You was getting ready to hear Psalm 23. Don't call it every day. In a public school. Told you I'm a child of the 60s. And there were generations trying to gain wealth that forgot about their worship. Because true worship means that God means more to me than anything. They made a way for us in the land, but we lost the laws that kept us Christian in this land. And I've lived long enough that everything is okay. Christians are silent on so many fronts because they don't want to be confronted by anything. Young people, I promise you, if you stand when everybody kneeling and kneeling when everybody's standing, you'll be like Kaepernick, baby, end up with a reward that don't nobody want to talk about. They're not going to say nothing. I was like, give me some hush money, sugar. Give me some hush money. When I fly my jet into the arena, give me some hush money. I ain't got nothing to say, but he kneeled when everybody else was standing. He was literally doing what this testimony of teenagers reminds us. That if you stand, you'll change rules. Y'all not gonna say nothing. Because the NFL thought that they had rules on their side and found out that the rule wasn't on their side and they had to pay that man an undisclosed amount of money. Because God will reward you, baby, when you will do what he called you to do. God will reward you when you stand up for who you are and for who he is. God will make sure your hand in the hand of the Lord. I'm getting ready. This is my last time saying I'm going to take my seat. I get 3 of them because I'm a Baptist preacher. Amen. This is 3 already? Okay, amen. I'm going to take a 4th this time. I'm going to take a 4th. Young people, stay in the hand of the Lord. Nobody should have to make you want to get the best gift you've ever could get in your life. Get a hold of it. I'm telling you, it'll be the best thing that you ever done. There's a story that old Baptist preachers tell, and I love to tell it all the time. It's about a little boy who used to get sent from up north to down south to be with his grandparents in the summertime. This is way before parents got scared of their children. But it was a long time ago when they used to send them from up north down south so they could stay with their grandparents, and the parents could have some time to do some overtime and then have some time to, do what they wanted to do during the summertime. And this little boy would be getting sent from up north to down south to stay with his grandparents. And he was with his granddaddy and found there were some other kids down there, and they used to run around and play every summer. And this particular summer they came together and they were walking past this little store. Saw them in a little sign in the window of the store that said raisins for 5 cents. I told you I was way back in the day before parents got scared of their children. It was a long time ago. It was raisins for 5 cents. I'm going to have to help y'all because I see y'all been in New York way too long. But down south, they have stores that you can go to that like they got a jar in the store like pickled pig feet. Okay. You take the rusty cap off the top of the pickled pig foot jar and you stick your hand down in the pickled pig foot jar and pull out a pig foot. And if it don't look like what you need it to look like, you put it right back in the jar. And then you dig down in there a little bit deeper. Okay, I need to tell y'all, this was before germs could kill you. They didn't have no hand sanitizer out back in the day. Y'all playing up in here. We used to eat mud pies. Ain't nothing wrong with me. Ain't nothing wrong with me. We used to, y'all judging me. It's okay. I ain't gotta come back out here. Y'all judging me. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Y'all judging me. But okay, so I see this ain't no pick a pig foot crowd. Y'all heard of pickles? Oh, y'all heard of pickles? Oh, praise God. Okay, good. Same thing. You take the rusty cap off the top of that pickle jar, and you put your hand down off in that pickle jar and pull out a pickle. And if it ain't the kind of pickle you want, okay, I see y'all don't like pickle. Y'all like pickle eggs? Y'all know I'm from down south, baby. We gonna pickle anything. But I tell you, this was before germs could kill you. The sign said raisins for 5 cents. The boy went to his granddaddy. He said, "Granddaddy, I need me a nickel." His granddaddy said, "Boy, what you need a nickel for?" He said, "They got raisins down at the store for 5 cents." He was like, "All right, son." He gave him the 5 cents. He said, "Thank you." Yeah. He said, "All right." He said, "Y'all be careful going down to that store and y'all come on back." The little boy got the tan out the house, running down the street, met up with his little friends. They get down there to the store, and the little boy slammed the nickel on the counter, and he was like, "I want some raisins." And the man said, "All right, son, get the bag and go over there and get you some raisins." The little boy started looking at the bag. He looked up at the man, and then he looked down at the bag, and then he looked up at the man, and the man said, "This little boy must be slow or something." So he said, "Get the bag!" Y'all know when we think somebody, different, we start yelling at him, and so that's what that man did. Y'all can laugh about it when y'all get in the car, it's okay. He started yelling at the little boy, and the little boy looked at the bag, looked back up at the man, looked down at the bag, looked back, and the man said, "You know what, I ain't playing with this little boy. I'm tired of him being in here." He snatched the bag up off the counter, came out from around the counter, went over to the raisins, snatched the top off of it, dug his hand in the bottom of the thing, pulled the raisins out, put them in the bag, gave it to the little boy. Little boy said, "Thank you!" Ran outside and was with his boys. His boys was like, "Yo, why was you acting all dumb when that man told you to get that bag? You were acting like you didn't even understand what that man was telling you. He told you to get the bag, and you look up at him all stupid when he was telling you." That little boy said, "Listen, I looked at my hand and I said, if there's any way I could get that man's hand over in that razor jar, I'm end up with a whole lot more raisins that all of us could be blessed with. Y'all, I'm trying to help somebody on the day. Young people, if you keep your hand in God's hand, God will make sure that it's no folk that's going to be blessed because your hands stayed in God's hand. If there's somebody in here that you sing the song like they used to sing in Paradise Missionary Baptist Church, hold to his hand. God's unchanging hand. Hold to God's unchanging hand. If you hold to his hand, you'll have peace. If you hold to his hand, you'll have joy. If you hold to his hand, you'll find that he is a way maker. Hold to God. Unchanging hand. Put your hands together and give God the glory.
Give God some praise. We serve a good God.